Hi Cancer, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. Welcome to the channel. I'm so happy that you found me and thank you for being here. Hi, welcome, and I'm so glad that you're here. To all of my new subscribers as well. I'm not very good at acknowledging the growth that occurs in the subscriber portion of the videos or my channel, but I do see the channel growing and I'm very thrilled that you're here. I'm glad that you decided to join this little community. This is your August 2017 forecast, where I'm going to take the astrology and the cards that fall before us and try to give you the best, most empowering information and storyline that I can to help you with the decisions that may be facing you throughout this month. So let's talk a little bit about it. On the 7th of the month, we've got a lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Aquarius. This lunar eclipse will not only be impacting people who have Aquarius energy, it'll also be impacting those who have 10 to 15 degrees of the fixed signs, and that's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So, lunar eclipses are known for being associated with endings, resolutions, culminations, chapters coming to an end that you may not have necessarily had a hand or a say in how the ending has come about. Lunar eclipses are also associated with feminine energy. The lunar eclipse for you, Cancer rising, is in the 8th house. The 8th house is traditionally ruled by Scorpio, and it is the house of life, death, and rebirth. It deals with primal, basic, or human instincts. Also areas of life that deal with transformation, regeneration, and metamorphosis. It can speak to other people's money and sexuality as well. Now on the 12th of the month, we've got Mercury going retrograde in Virgo. So if you happen to know any Virgos, or Geminis for that matter, they're probably going to have a difficult time getting their point across or making connections from point A to point B, either in thought movement or communication. So just be a little more lenient for those Mercurian ruled or governed signs of Virgo and Gemini. Sorry. The Mercury retrograde is going backwards in the sky from our perspective, and the 3rd house for you, Cancer rising. And the 3rd house is the house of thought, movement, and communication. It is the house of Gemini. It's the house of your short distance trips, siblings, cousins, and neighbors, people in your neighborhood, and your communication. This can be the way that you speak and the way that you digest information, but it can also be the way that you're understood by others. It can deal with your communication devices, getting your voice out across the airwaves, and it can be your commute, the vehicle that you take from point A to point B. On the 21st of the month, we've got a solar eclipse at 28 degrees of Leo, and this will be impacting not only Leo, but also 24 to 30 degrees of the fixed signs, and that's Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And also it will be impacting 0 to 4 degrees of the mutable signs, and that is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. This solar eclipse is going to be bringing in new growth, new life force energy. It will be bringing new breath, possibly new birth as well into that 2nd house. The 2nd house is the house of your money, earning ability, and self-esteem. It's also the house of your values and your possessions, the things that you feel like you need to survive. It's also anything you could point to, classify, identify, or introduce as mine to another living person or thing. Solar eclipses are also associated with masculine energy. So what I'm going to do now, Cancer, is grab my tarot cards, give them a shuffle for you. A couple of shuffles. There will be a lot of focus on the 2nd house for you. And Mercury will go retrograde at 28 degrees of Leo, the solar eclipse point on September the 5th. So things will be clearing up and resolving in that 2nd house giving you an opportunity to renegotiate and reassess your finances and your values and your possessions. Maybe a good time for you to go through the house and clean house. Do some fall cleaning or early fall cleaning, maybe late summer cleaning. Clear out the house of things that you don't need anymore. Clutter that doesn't need to be there. Make room for new things, if you will. Any messages, guidance, information, blind spots that Cancer needs to see for August 2017 for my Cancer viewers and friends? Alright, I'm going to cut the deck for you, Cancer. The bottom card represents the underlying theme or overarching energy of my spreads. The top three are for clarity, and if you need a time frame association with the cards, past, present, future. I'm now shuffling for you from the Illuminated Tarot deck. I like this deck because it has basically a couple of different purposes. You can use it as a tarot deck. You can use it as a playing card deck. Caitlin Keegan, the author of this deck, the artist who created this deck, has taken the major arcana and reduced it down into the minor arcana. So some of the cards that fall actually have dual purpose meanings as well. If that happens to fall for you, I'll do my best to bring forth all of the meanings and the information surrounding the card. Let me cut this deck for you, Cancer. I'm going to take the top and bottom card of this deck. And finally, let me shuffle the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card deck for you, Cancer. I'll also be cutting the deck and taking the top and bottom card from this cut deck as well. Pardon me, y'all. Okay, you had a card flip out and land. So give me one moment. I'll pick it up. I'm going to cut the deck and take the top and bottom card. So with this card, this is your Lagniappe card. I've adopted the state of Louisiana as my home state. And whenever something extra is involved, we call it Lagniappe. So you got a little something extra. You got a Lagniappe card. Okay, Cancer, what I'm going to do now is take a pause. I'm going to flip these cards over, do the tarot math, and I'll look at my astrology notes and do my best to bring forth the most empowering information that I can find for you from what I've got in front of me. I'll be right back, y'all, so hang tight. Hi, Cancer. I'm back with your cards, so let's go ahead and get started. The underlying theme or overarching energy for this spread was the World card, and it fell in the upright position. This is the 21st card of the Major Arcana. 2 plus 1 is 3. That speaks to the third house on the astrological wheel. That house is ruled by Gemini traditionally, and it's the house of your short-distance trips, siblings, cousins, neighbors, people in your neighborhood, people on your level in the neighborhood. It's also your communication devices, how you communicate, and your daily commute. The World card, whenever I see it, I think of the World Wide Web instantaneously because of the interconnectedness of it, and also getting ideas from four corners of the globe. This card traditionally represents the planet Saturn. And Saturn is a planet that deals with limitation, structure, and containment. I think of Saturn as the building code inspector. Wherever Saturn is transiting through your chart, you are being tested in the area of structure and if it's strong enough to support you. For you, this is in the 6th house. The 6th house is traditionally ruled by Virgo. It's the house of your work and health or the competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. It's also your daily to-do list, your daily agenda, and your daily life. The things you do on a regular and daily basis to make your body and your surroundings work at their optimal performance level. Saturn will be going direct in the 6th house on the 25th of the month. Pay attention to the structure in your world and around you and your family, because Cancer, you are very much a family-oriented sign. The card that fell in the past position for you is the Six of Swords, and this is a card that is probably going to be pretty impactful for many of you, either in the reverse or in the upright. This card falling in the past position makes me feel like you are going to be reflecting on the past. The number 6 dealing with that 6th house that I just spoke about, with Saturn going direct at the end of the month in that 6th house of work and health. Could be that you've been dealing with some serious issues in the area of work or health, and you are going to be moving past it or out of it. Could be that the only way to move past it or out of it is by going and reflecting on where you've been to see and be able to measure the growth that has gone on, because the number 6 is also associated with the theme of growth. The swords deal with air sign qualities. This is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This card deals with transition and going through a rite of passage. It could also be leaving or exiting or finding the exit out of the dark night of the soul. I see this as moving from past or out of troubled waters to more calm situation. It could be that you are being almost haunted by something from the past, or the past is revisiting you in one way or another. You're getting a different perspective on the past as well. The card that fell in the present position is the Page of Cups, and this Page of Cups is reflective of a water sign, or the embodiment of water sign energies. The water signs are you, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. The pages are either messages or messengers. The posture of this card has him looking towards the future, even though it's in reverse. He deals with either synchronistic messaging or messages of the creative nature, and it can also be romantic and charming as well. Just understand that we are under the influence of Mercury being in retrograde, and what you jump into now may not be fully exposed or fully revealed to you until after the 5th of September. So just forewarned is forearmed. Understand that there may be more to the story that you need to get, and be willing to do your due diligence in getting the other side of that story. The card that fell in the future position is the Justice card. This is the 11th card of the major arcana. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, so this could be speaking to the lunar eclipse that is occurring in Aquarius on the 7th of the month. For you, that is in the 8th house, the house of Scorpio. It's the house of life, death, and rebirth, other people's money. It deals with sexuality. It deals with our instincts, primal, basic, or human. It deals with regeneration, transformation, and metamorphosis. It is very much a blood and guts type of house. The Justice card is reflective of the zodiac sign of Libra, and it indicates a need or highlights the theme for balance. Now, Jupiter is in Libra right now, and for you, Cancer rising, that's the 4th house, and that's the house that you rule. That's the house of your home and family, and your roots and your foundations. Home is where you live and where you consider home to be. Family is who you share that home with. Your roots and your foundations can be the roots and foundations of the actual dwelling that you live in, the dwelling of your soul, which would be your body, and that speaks to more teeth and bones, if you will. It also speaks to those things that make you who you are, your tightly held beliefs and philosophies and ideologies as well. If this isn't speaking to that 11th house Aquarius full moon lunar eclipse, it could also be reduced down to 1 + 1 is 2, and that's the second house, and that's where the solar eclipse will be occurring. Second house is the house of your money, your possessions, your earning ability, your self-esteem. It's the things that you need and want to have closest to you. You need them for your survival and for your pleasure. It could also be anything that you point to, classify, identify, or introduce as mine to another individual. The Justice card, even though it's in reverse, could still be that you are receiving a reward for your effort or dealings with legal issues. It just may be that what you get is not exactly what you were expecting. It could be that you were banking on X amount and it's not quite what you thought it would be. There's still going to be an offer, it looks like, with the Page of Cups being there, but it may not be what you thought it was going to be. It may be that you thought you were going to be getting more. But the Justice card is facing you straight on, so the future is that, one, you need to make sure that you are maintaining your balance in all things, but two, employ the mentality of you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit, and it would make life a lot easier for a lot of us. So I did the tarot math on this portion of the spread for the Rider-Waite tarot cards. That ended up being 38. 3 + 8 is 11, or you can reduce that down to 2. Just like with the future card that fell in, or the Justice card that fell in the future positioning, it's the same way that you can break it down. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, and that's where the eclipse is occurring. For you, that's the 8th house, the house of Scorpio. Lunar eclipses are tied with chapters, endings, that you may not have had any real say in how it was going to end. It could also be dealing with feminine energy. And the solar eclipse occurring in that second house is new life, new birth, new growth, new breath being breathed into that house where the eclipse is occurring. And for you Cancer rising, it's the second house, the house of your money, earning ability, and self-esteem. It could be that you feel like you've been on the short end of the stick, and after these eclipses, you will be moving past that, hopefully. And I say that because of one of the illuminated tarot card deck cards that fell for you is the exact replica of a card that fell for you in the Rider-Waite tarot. So it's very strongly indicated that you're going through a transition. You could be leaving some stuff behind you, but we'll get to that in a second. The first card in the top two for the illuminated tarot deck is the Jack of Spades. This Jack of Spades is also reflective of the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is, he surrounds the themes of motion and movement. The swords also deal with air sign energy. The air signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This card in itself deals with caution and potential. So there's a potential for something, and it could also be just a cautionary red flag to get your attention. So pay attention to your gut and to your instincts. You are very intuitive, Cancer, if you pay attention to the prompts that the universe sends you. Pay attention to those synchronistic messages. Pay attention to those coincidences. They are more than mere coincidences. They're to get your attention. Pay attention to the repeating numbers. Do a Google search and look up what the repeating numbers mean. The universe is trying to speak to you through different means. You've just got to be open to the communication and the messages that could be coming to you. The Knight of Swords is known for being very opinionated, hasty in their speech, could be very sharp-tongued and quick-witted. Their speech could be very cutting, and they hold their cards close to their chest. The second card is the Six of Spades, which reflects the Six of Swords energy, and that's the card that fell in the past position. Look at this moon right here. Lunar eclipse happening on the 7th. The lunar eclipse in the 8th house, the house of Scorpio, the house of life, death, and rebirth, other people's money, sexuality, instincts, metamorphosis and growth, regeneration, literally the house of rising from the phoenix, rising from the ashes. It could be that you have to leave something behind, or something has been left behind, or you finally understand what other people in your world have been through after reflection. The 6 speaks to the theme of growth. And the swords deal with the air signs again, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. You've had a lot of Gemini and Libra showing up in this spread. That number 6 also speaks to that Saturn going direct in the 6th house on the 25th of the month. Remember, Saturn is the planet that deals with limitation, structure, and containment. So you probably have been dealing with a lot of frustration in the area of your work and health, of trying to get your daily schedule together. Your daily life has probably been very difficult for the last 2 years. The good thing is Saturn will be moving out of this house, moving into the 7th house. But Saturn will make that transition in December of this year. But we'll talk more about that when we get closer to it. From the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck, the first card that I pulled for you is the Emerald card. It deals with wisdom, luck, and independence. It can help heal and amplify the vibrations of the heart chakra. It reads, Emerald is the stone of divine strength and discernment. It is a sacred talisman of power and knowledge that you already possess. You've pulled this card because you need reminding that you already have the wisdom and confidence that you seek so desperately. So meditate with Emerald to summon your inner king or queen and bring fortune into your life. The solar eclipse is going to be in the sign of Leo, and that is the king of the zodiac, the king of the forest, right? The royalty. The second card that, this was the card that popped out for you, the Lanyap card. This is the Amethyst card. It deals with peace, balance, and self-control. It can help heal and amplify the vibrations of the crown chakra. It reads, Amethyst heals the layers of addiction and brings balance, focus, and unity to the bearer. You've pulled this card because you need to achieve a deeper state of peace and balance within. So meditate with Amethyst to access a more profound relationship with Spirit, to soften life's unfolding trials, and to stop turning to unhealthy sources for comfort. The final card that was pulled for you is the Septarian card. It deals with ancient earth, wisdom, and shielding. It can help heal and amplify the root chakra vibrations. Septarian facilitates communication with guides and elders while offering protection and a shield of invisibility around you. You have pulled this card because your guides and elders have a message for you because you may be under an energetic attack. Meditate with Septarian to attune yourself to ancient wisdom, to protect yourself with ancestral magic, and to connect deeply with your spirit guides. You know, when I was holding this card and I was reflecting on it, I wanted to tell you to watch your back, but I didn't want to seem overly doom sounding, if you will, doomy sounding, doombringer, whatever. But the back is exposed here and in this other Six of Swords as well. So be sure to protect yourself, protect your back, watch your back, and check those who say they have your back and they haven't displayed the fact of having said back or not, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Looks like balance is something that really needs to be achieved. And it's difficult to balance when you're growing, right? Growth isn't easy. They don't call it growing pains for anything, for nothing. Mercury is so in shadow. They don't call it growing pains for nothing. It hurts. And when you're in pain, it's hard to find balance. I hope that you are well, Cancer. I'm sending you a lot of love. Please take care of yourself and please be kind to yourself. Save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I hope you enjoyed this reading too. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. Be on the lookout for the solar eclipse oracle card guidance video I'll be doing. I don't know if I'm going to stream it yet or not. I've still got a couple of more of these monthly videos to get out before I can even do that. And if you are waiting on your private reading, I'm still working to get my backlog finished, because I was sick for about 2 weeks and I'm still fighting the after effects of it. So be gracious with me, send me some love, and I'll send it back to you. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you soon. Take care, Cancer. Namaste, and I love y'all. Bye.